back, and of course you're watching Smart 24 TV here at Nile Avenue, plot 42. Well, we are still here, Smbbusiness, all the way from 7 a.m. till then. Of course, welcome to our second hour, and hope you're having the very best of your morning. And today being a Wednesday, I expect, productivity. As usual, productivity as usual. This is a very crucial month. It's very fragile, and you have to put all in the work. Put all the work in, because you have to recover what you lost last month, and of course compensate for the next, this month, and of course next month, because those are one of the dry spells of the year. Well, of course, as you well know, we're always here to get you inspired and motivated every other day that passes by. Well, let's first get motivated, and we shall be right back. The secret to hiring is looking for people who want to change the world. Well, of course, what a good move. Of course, if someone came to you and asked you, what are you bringing? What are you bringing? I mean, most of us have answers like, I want to grow the company, I want to increase productivity in the company. But then you actually, what sells us is what we believe we can do, what we actually do believe we can do, the impact that we have, not these answers we give. You go on the internet, you search, I am hardworking, I am this and this,
I'm determined,
I am determined, but then at the end of the day, speak from your heart. If this is the thing you've been longing for, this is your dream career, this is your dream business, being a CEO, make sure give the very best. When you ask, outdo yourself. Go out there, give a speech in the interview room, and people are going to leave speechless.
Exactly. Please. Don't give them an opportunity to speak after you've spoken.
And let them be like,
wow. Let them keep in the wows, and this girl is intelligent, this boy has, a lot of wisdom, and you just outdo yourself, literally. Do not leave room for condemnation or criticism.
I once saw something, one of the American footballers, American football, not soccer, Colin Kaepernick. Once he was a good baseball player, very good high scores. But then his dream was he wanted to do American football. Okay, he wanted to be a quarterback, one of the greatest quarterback. The performance, when you looked at the performance between baseball and American football, baseball took it all. He had sponsorships and different requests from different universities and colleges to have him on board. But then he made a choice like, I want to do American football. I want to be a quarterback. I want to be known for that. That's what I feel I love, I perform baseball, I guess, but I love American football, though I'm not a good performer. And of course, when he was put up on a panel, that is what he said. He's like, yes. And of course, first of all, you like, I'm a hard worker, I can work hard. And the man was like, you know what? Why do you want to join American football? And he spoke out his heart. It's like, I have always wanted this. I sleep and dream of being a quarterback. Everything I do, I'm holding the ball as if I'm going to pass it. That is my life is that.
I think people should rely more on self-discovery. Know who you are, know what you can do best, and then look at that. Because in most cases, by the way, most of the people are driven by this, I would call it a syndrome or what, this... they know I'm going to go and ask for maybe a job or something, then I'll still tell the people, oh my God, I'll go to Google or ChatGPT and look for a very good speech. And then I'll go in and be like, everything that I've mastered in my speech is what I'm not going to say it from heart. It's different to mention something when it's off script than to also say something when it's from within you. Because I feel like when you add the emotional bit of it, the you bit of it, like when it's from the deepest part of you, I feel like it brings out now what you're trying to mean. Because many people have done the speeches and the English is good, the grammar is good, but at the end of the day, I have a very beautiful speech, but everything in that speech is not original. Okay, fine, it might not be original, but is whatever I've mentioned, is it what I am? It's not me. So let's go back to self-examination. Look at yourself. What can I do best? Then if you know that you can do something best, you're good at something, then please concentrate on that and have a personal point of view. Exactly, because it makes more sense when it's coming from within than just, off paper or something. You're trying to impress someone out there, maybe your employers, rather than being yourself. So it comes back to self-examination, to who are you and what can you do best. So I feel like we should do that.
Well, that is it for our inspirational moments. And of course, still our talks on setting the non-alignment movement. And of course, we want to be looking at the outlook of the NAM, yes, the outlook of the economic developments. I mean, it's the NAM nations, how they've been, progressing. And of course, when you talk about NAM, they're very different dynamics, different nations coming from different economies. Yeah, some in the big economies, some in the middle, and some in the very low. And of course, with high growth, several NAM countries are expected to see their GDP grow by 6% or higher, which was last year, including Vietnam, including Cambodia, then and Rwanda. Rwanda has done tremendously actually last year. Tourism, and of course, I mean, even hosting one of the biggest into their country, really, as a way for people, for reputation, put their country out there, because I mean, not every country can afford Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, but of course, these countries are benefited in strong exports, raising domestic demand, and the investment here, which I must agree, looking at Rwanda, which is close to us, I believe it's a good example. And of course, when it comes to many moderate growth, many countries are expected to see their GDP grow between 3% to 5%. Yeah, and of course, these countries include India, Indonesia, South Africa, and of course, though they are facing some cases, inflation, first of all, interest rates, but of course they're expected to have a positive growth. Looking at South Africa, there was a little bit of inflation, and at the end of the day, the birds were affected. There was the production of eggs. People were buying at higher cost, so that it also led to inflation. So a lot when it comes to NAM countries. And of course, there's also slow growth, which I believe Uganda is part of. Yeah, and the GDP is expected to grow by 3%, which will comparing last year. Yeah. Now, of course, this is Venezuela. We have Nigeria and Angola. And of course, due to oil prices, political instabilities, and conflict. Of course, when it comes to West Africa, Nigeria, Niger, there they had a little bit of conflicts which could have really affected them one way or the other. And of course, a few NAM countries are expected to fall into recession. Yeah, we're expected. We see Sri Lanka, yeah, also facing several economic crises, yeah, which led to the decline as well. Of course, there's a mixture of different outlooks, the different NAM nations. Yeah, and of course, their performances last year, we can see, and which is true if you come to think of it, it is really true. And of course, for Vietnam, the GDP growth was at 8.0, and Cambodia was at 7.2. Those are one of the high growth GDP countries that were expected to grow. And of course, Rwanda at 6.7, and then India 5.5, Indonesia 5.0, South Africa 4.2, Venezuela negatives, Nigeria 2.5, Angola 1.8, Sri Lanka 7.5, 3% growth. Well, of course, maybe that is it I can say about the NAM. Yeah.
Then, yeah, still talking about the economic outlook of the countries you just mentioned. For example, we have South Africa and Rwanda being at 6%. So I think the outlook of the NAM basically varies significantly due to diverse economic structures, that is the levels of development, and also the regional dynamics. So, some countries, some of the NAM countries have experienced robust growth, while some have been driven maybe by natural resources and others manufacturing and servicing sectors. Now, while the others face obviously economic disparities, because you would ask yourself, why is it that a country like, Venezuela or those other countries that are developing, and some other countries that are still part of the NAM, the developing countries, are not yet there. So some of the reasons are, or the challenges that are facing are economic disparities. We have infrastructure gaps, then dependency on volatile commodity prices. But then still we're hopeful that because collaborative efforts within NAM aim to foster economic cooperation, trade and development initiatives among member nations. So we could still see that they still hope, in as much as, amidst all the challenges and all that, we know that NAM is now going to promote the national, interests, and it will also strengthen the bilateral relations with the participating nations. So we, amidst all the challenges, at least there's still a ray of hope that at least we could see some improvements and developments being made. Yeah.
Looking at India being a member of the non-alignment movement, it has given it an opportunity for it to actually, leadership roles. And that is why, India has been able to host some of the summits, and, chairing various, some committees, it being in the BRICS, gives it a huge opportunity actually to be one of the role leaders here in the non-alignment movement. Of course, started in 1961. That's very many years ago, around it's getting to 60.
61 around there.
61. Well, of course, for huge, big economies like that, gives them platform to host, very many summits and play a pivotal role in leadership. Yeah. And of course, it also enhances images, whether it's a big nation or a small nation.
It puts you out there.
Because at the end of the day, delegations are going to come. Going to want to look at what do you have that you can offer to us at the end of the day. That's where the bilateral talks come in.
Yeah.
After the NAM, different nations are going to be coming to Uganda, having talks on how we have Angola. Angola, we had actually wanted to partner with it in, production of agriculture produce. I don't know how that really turned out.
Yeah.
Last year, we had very many talks with different nations, even including India itself and China as well. So definitely, it has put countries that are not been known out there for the whole world to
could see.
see.
Right now, actually, when we read in the Daily Monitor, where they were saying that the women in business are, coming in partnership with government to put out their agricultural products or display. I think this could be a great move, because it provides the platform to showcase what you have, and the more you showcase what you have, you're trying to increase the visibility. They're going to see your products, and the moment they see your products, this is now going to bring about the business. The business deals will now start just like that. So I think it's going to help them, because it also increases that visibility, and I think the networking also comes in. Now, with networking and the increased visibility of what you're putting out there, I feel like it's going to be a good startup when it comes to our business, when it comes to our trade as a country.
I will, of course, looking in here, seeing that both ahead of both summits, the Foreign Affairs and Trade Ministries have organized business forum at Kampala Serena Hotel. That tell you the hotel industry is going to benefit a lot. Serena already is taking lead for business personalities, mainly for the NAM and G7 member opportunities. And of course, they have booked 5,000 hotel rooms, around 5,000. Yeah, hotel rooms around Kampala and Entebbe.
That is coming.
Yeah, around Kampala and Entebbe to accommodate the guests.
5,000.
So you can imagine, because I saw Emin Pasha also going to be hosting, actually having some of the delegates coming over focus. And he says here, this is an opportunity for Uganda and Namibia to deepen their bilateral cooperation. Yes, according to it. And of course, Chirumira said that the summits present an opportunity for Uganda and Namibia to not only showcase business and investment opportunity, but also tap into the global markets. Quite so, they have been having partnerships with Namibia. So, them having it face to face, like you're here, definitely. Now, Chirubera said, actually for Kasita, said that 17 delegates from Namibia, led by the country's vice president, will be in the country and will inject into the country before he urged the business community to tap into the business prospect from the South African country. And of course, Namibia president will not only come because he's a bit busy, but he will be represented by the president, who will be accompanied by, of course, the delegation will include members. So their target market for the business fraternity is Namibia. Yeah, so definitely they know what they're up to. And of course, the NAM 27 are immensely big for Uganda and different sectors such as trade.
Yeah.
Very key. Because at the end of the day, we'll have to look into that as well, what we have available. Yeah, for the different nations, what we can tap from them, what they can't tap from us. Then tourism is very key. When the CSPOC, they actually mentioned it. One of the sole reasons is to boost tourism. When people want people to come,
people should come and
and tour around. I've heard of Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. I mean, what is that pearl they talk about? Is it the source of the Nile?
Yeah, the source of the Nile.
Yeah, so definitely people want to see that.
They want to see it.
And we should position ourselves as a business community to benefit and broaden our networks, which is key. Don't sit there and wait. Yeah. So get opportunity to tap onto the dollars. Yes, for them that are targeting Namibia.
Tap onto the dollars.
Tap onto the dollars. That is something I believe is key for the business fraternity. So if you have been booked for any reason, whether you're selling vegetables, whether you're selling Irish, just know you're tapping into the dollars. The dollars. For the purposes of economic growth, honestly, for the betterment of our country. And of course, we want to see more of the talks that are going to be last for a year long. We want to see implementation. We want to see trade improved. We want to export more. Yeah, so definitely the African Continental Free Trade Area, we talk about tariffs, yeah, visa restrictions. Yes. So definitely we have to use this as an opportunity to boost our economy one way or the other. Yeah. So, I mean, we're at 21 minutes past 8 a.m. when, of course, conversations rotating the GDP growth in the different nations, as you saw. A rate between 7% increase, actually the highest as of 2023. And of course, the economic developments that we expect, of course, infrastructure, the business fraternity is expected to, to be boosted. And of course, when we talk about tourism, we talk about trade. Those are one of the talks I believe are going to be in this whole conversation of now. Not a matter of meeting and eating, no, it's serious business. Well, that is it for now. Let's go in for a short breather and we shall be back with sports and entertainment with Andrew and I.